Stop it.
Someone doesn't like shoes? She won't even touch any normal food. But at least we managed to convince her to take a shower. No, 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 tomorrow. We don't do that.
Seems like a real handful.
She just needs some time to settle.
You must be tired, Sam. Get some rest.
Charlie. Be advised that we have a new assignment waiting for you. I'll need to brief you on upcoming objectives as well. Access the delivery terminal at the Northern Environmental Observatory to take on this main order.
To wake up to another order is just... I wish they could be a bit more considerate.
Tomorrow seemed to react negatively to overstimulation. This is likely just a defensive mechanism, so to speak. A way to safeguard her mind from the strange and unfamiliar. At times like these, it's best to limit the number of people attempting to help the distressed individual. So let's trust in Rainey and Fragile to take care of her. You've been receiving more dangerous orders. I respect your willingness to undertake them without any fuss. Please, don't hesitate to rely on me for assistance if you ever find yourself in need of it. While I'm incapable of fighting like you, if you throw me toward your enemies, I can keep them distracted, for a short while at least. Come to think of it, the Brigands' vehicles are of a rather antiquated design, significantly different from the standard pickup off-roader. You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or on the DHV Magellan. Can't even store them in a garage. They're enemy property after all. Too risky to bring inside our facilities. Could be booby-trapped. I'd not get into the habit of using them too often if I were you. On a dark night in May 1816, 3 men and 2 women found themselves confined to a villa on the shore of Lake Geneva. A catastrophic volcanic eruption had wrought havoc on the global climate, and a relentless rain hammered down outside. With little else to do, the occupants of the villa decided to compose ghost stories. And it was on this fateful night that a woman named Mary penned what would become Frankenstein. Mary, who was only 18 years of age, had already lived a tumultuous life. She was engaged in an affair with the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley at the time, whom she would later go on to marry. A dramatic retelling of these events was committed to film prior to the death Stranding. Titled Mary Shelley, it stars Elle Fanning in the lead role. Now, where have I heard that name before?
By linking up the various sites farther to the north, you'll eventually be able to establish a connection to Hartman's facility. In short, it's time to tackle the northern part of the continent. Start by bringing the F2 South Distribution Center into the network. Some of the staff there are former residents of Cape Fort Knott who managed to escape the city before it was swallowed up by the tar. In addition to overseeing distribution operations, they also protect the facility from would-be assailants. Unfortunately, local chiral contamination levels are extremely high, leading to disturbing reports of paranormal phenomena near the facility. The cargo you're tasked with delivering should aid staff in dealing with this issue. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal to proceed.
You're with Drawbridge, I presume. Yeah, you seem like the genuine article. Welcome. Hope it wasn't too hard to track. I'll just need a moment to check your cargo. No denying this is in fine condition. How about that? You have been making a real difference around here. Keep it up, all right? All right. Go ahead and put us on the chiral network.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So we've been linked up, at last. There's also the necrobiotes you brought us as well. Feels like we finally turned a corner.
For our part, we've shared data for some custom vehicle components, as well as some sturdy combat boots. I'm sure the vehicle parts in particular will come in handy for combat and cargo retrieval. You need all the help you can get, because those armed survivalists waiting for you out east are far more dangerous foes than the brigands. They're a bunch of fools who won't hesitate to kill people, with no shortage of lethal weaponry. Though I'll be damned if I know where they got it. Make sure you're prepared before you head their way. Speaking of which, those combat boots ought to add some serious power to your kicks. You might want to equip a pair if you intend on getting up close and personal.
They're not something just anyone should be messing with. Their affinity with the dead makes them dangerous. But that's also why we can use them to prevent the dead from attacking us. With that kind of power at our disposal, we can put people's minds at ease. Could solve all kinds of problems, I'm sure.
We've uploaded some schematics for pickup off-roader parts. One of them is a heavy machine gun. It automatically acquires and fires at targets in range. It uses MP bullets for added versatility. It's effective not only against human enemies like armed survivalists, but BTs as well. The other part is a sticky cannon. When mounted, it independently scans for cargo in the vehicle's vicinity and collects it. You'll find it makes rounding up dropped cargo easier than ever. And who wouldn't want that? Pickup off-roaders can be equipped with 2 parts like these simultaneously. So choose whatever's best for the situation at hand. Some people have called me that. A while back, we had a situation with this group that went around looting whatever supplies they felt like. And I was the boxing champ who went up against these guys and sent them all packing with nothing but his bare fists. That's the story they tell, but it sure as hell ain't the truth. I didn't charge gallantly into battle and beat the shit out of them. I approached them in peace so we could work it out.
I asked why they were stealing from other people, and they said it was because they didn't have the skills to live any other way. So I taught them other ways to survive, trained them a bit. Nothing more than that, really. In the end, all we had to do was talk to each other. They weren't like the other riffraff you find around here. And they're still here. In fact, working in this facility. If anyone around here deserves to be called a hero, it's you, Sam. I mean, you're the one trekking across Australia trying to bring everyone together.
Anyway, right now, we're trying to develop equipment tailored to close combat specialists. If we succeed, anyone will be capable of fighting as well as the so-called Golden Fist. Feel free to lend a hand if our project interests you. Thanks again. We're glad to have you in our corner. With your support, we'll be able to do so much more for others. Stay strong and keep doing your thing. We're in this fight together.
Sam, you're the best. Now get yourself back to the DHV Magellan and take a load off. Just so you know, tomorrow's been doing much better. Pay her a visit when you can, okay?
Order completed. Well done.
Raindrops are falling on my head. Oh, just a little longer, okay? Raindrops are falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. You know this song? So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Okay.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
Are you alright, Sam? That was a gatequake just now. It seems West Fort Knott was hit hard, and their Cairo printer is no longer working. I'm afraid we won't be able to continue expanding the network until it's back up and running. Pick up your next main order via the terminal at the F2 South Distribution Center.
Necrobiotes are fascinating, and they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well, ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tarfall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plate gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane. So, Samson Hook from the F2 South Distribution Center is not a man to be trifled with, no sir. I did some research, and I found he's a popular local figure, beloved by one and all, it seems. Known as the Golden Fist as well. But don't misunderstand. I'd wager the people's love for him is not rooted solely in his considerable martial prowess. The Voyage of the Beagle, written, of course, by one Charles Darwin. Speaking of which, before the Death Stranding, there was a city in the northern part of Australia called Darwin, named as such after the Beagle made a brief stop there. Darwin was able to devote so much time and effort to his research of evolution because he enjoyed the support of the elite, specifically the Wedgwood family, pottery makers to the royal household. In fact, Darwin's maternal grandfather was the founder of Wedgwood. You can't get a better patron than that, now can you? I suppose if you think about it, Wedgwood was to Darwin as Charlie is to us.
So you made it out okay. Those tremors were intense. But we're doing fine here. I think West Fort Knott got the worst of it, though. Your cargo has already been prepared. If you could deliver it to West Fort Knott as quickly as you can, that'd be great. We need to support each other at times like these, so pick up the priority order from the delivery terminal right away. I'm counting on you, Sam.
You're mine. You're mine.
Sam, I'm so glad to see you again. We just got hit by a massive quake. I was afraid you might have got hurt out there. Or worse. Anyway, I'll check your cargo. Well, I wasn't expecting to receive this in such great shape. You're something else. It's like a dream come true, this showing up on our doorstep.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thank you so much. We should be able to get our chiral printer in working order now. I've never felt tremors like that before. Not even when the tar currents were acting up. It makes me pretty concerned about other folks living nearby. But at least the monorail you patched up seems to be none the worse for wear. Hey, out of curiosity, have you restored any of the other large mines? They'd be a great source of materials if you were ever in need. Are you familiar with the island that lies north of our facility here at West Fort Knott? Well, there's a shelter on that island. The man who lives there only cares about his research and never talks to anyone. But I can't help worrying that he might have been hurt during the tremors. There are a few large mines in the northern part of the continent, not far from where you'll find North Fort Knott. Or where you used to be able to find it, I should say, before it was wiped off the map by a void out. As for the mines, no one knows if they were obliterated too. But if you happen to be headed that way, you might want to see if they're still around. You've been such a big help to us. Rest assured, our staff will see that everyone gets their share of the aid packages you delivered. A lot of people are going to be singing your praises before too long. Best of luck to you with everything. Thanks for all your hard work. Everything there seems to be in order. But one cannot help but wonder what other facilities were affected. Anyway, you can pick up your next order from the F2 South Distribution Center. This one's a rescue mission, Sam. Someone's been taken hostage by the armed survivalists, and we need you to extract them to safety. The survivalists have been known to kill people, so you'll want to take extra care when preparing for this one. Oh, and it seems the tar currents have finally stabilized. So the D3 Magellan should be able to travel without issue. Call us if you need us. All right, Sam. Good luck.
Order completed. Well done.
Verified. Welcome, Sam. Security measures lifted. Weapon.
What business brings you to my doorstep? Wait, are you carrying some cargo that got washed away after the quake? I'll need a moment to process and confirm. Well, where on earth did you find this? I've given up on ever seeing it. You, sir, are a good man, and I know I can rely on you. You're bringing people into the chiral network, yes? I'd be interested in that. Get me online.
I think this could prove useful to you. Try it and see if you agree. I call this an otter hood. It's an original invention of my very own. Put it on, and you'll find you can float in the water as happily as an otter. You'll never be at risk of drowning ever again. It's guaranteed to make you feel like a born swimmer. Which, given the recent flooding, is great for people like me who can't swim at all. I'll bet you could find some use for it too, in your line of work. That's so. Someone else already went and made the same thing. Well, I just think otters are wonderful. You like them too, don't you? Despite being mammals, these adorable mustelids live the better part of their lives in water. Floating on the surface, flat on their backs. Grace personified. In becoming an otter, we can become one with the water. That's why I decided to create this hood. So, if someone else out there had the same idea, I bet we'd get along swimmingly. Anyway, if you don't have their hood, maybe you could still use mine. Though, saying that, I better come up with something new. Thanks, and come back again soon. I'll try to whip up something extra special to give you next time.
Order completed. Well done, event request.
Terrible weather, isn't it? Thanks for coming, Regal. Checking the orders now. And what is this unexpected delivery I see? That's awfully kind of you, Sam. I have something I want to share that I think will surprise and delight you very much. I'm increasing your allocation of materials. It's
now displaying your current porter grade.
This is a stun bomb. Another original invention of mine, naturally. Only recently completed, too. A useful tool for incapacitating enemies without doing any lasting harm. Perfect for making your escape when you're ambushed by hostiles. No way. They've already been invented. I have to say, it's quite difficult to weaponize electricity. Transmitting the requisite charge into a target, to be clear. Determining the optimal voltage and consistently producing it was a problem I spent ages solving. And now you go and tell me it's already been done. Well, original or not, my version of the weapon is the only one you'll be able to fabricate. And since you already know what it does, I'm sure you can put it to good use. I'll shift my focus to my next work in progress. Thanks for the help. I appreciate it.
Order completed. Well done.
Still out working hard after. Appreciate the dedication. One moment while I check the orders. This is downright perfect. This cargo's been missing for a while now. You did good tracking it down. It's thanks to you that we're in a position to share this data. Go ahead, give it a look. Bet you could use more materials, no? Which is why we're
now displaying your current porter grade.
This schematic is for combat power gloves. Slip them on, and you'll find you hit harder than ever before. No one will be able to match your strength in close combat, that's for sure. They also have a function that lets you harness energy before delivering a devastating electrical area attack. Any enemies caught in the surge will absorb a concentrated electrical charge, resulting in massive damage. So even if you encounter foes with formidable defenses down the road, you'll have no trouble defeating them with these gloves. As an added benefit, they'll also improve your ability to keep your balance and climb, which should make a difference in your delivery work. Using them will consume battery power, though. See that you don't run out and find yourself at a disadvantage. We don't intend to stop our research anytime soon, so you can look forward to other inventions.
Okay.
Hey there, Sam. Thanks for stopping by. I'll start processing your orders. Is this cargo what I think it is? Wow, you're the greatest. I've never known a kinder man than you, Sam. I hope this serves to show how grateful we are. Oh, we've upped your allocation of materials.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
We really appreciate everything you've done to help us achieve our goals here. There are now more animals in our care than ever before. It's no exaggeration to say that you're practically one of the shelter staff. So, if you'd ever like to stay here and rest for the night, we'd be happy to host you. It'd be nice to show you how much your support means to us. Don't hesitate to drop by.
Fortuitous timing as always, Sam. Let's see what brings you here today. Well, well, where on earth did you find this? With your assistance, I was able to craft this. Tell me what you think. I'm increasing your allocation of materials. It's my...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
And here we have the remote stun bomb. Yet another original invention, I'm quite proud to say. The version I previously shared with you was designed to detonate at the moment of impact. But this one can be detonated remotely at a time of your choosing. It really opens up the ways you can potentially put it to use. You should try playing around with it. You can't be serious. Adding remote detonation functionality was a pain in the ass. Though, in hindsight, I suppose it wasn't the most original idea. Still, There is no disputing its effectiveness. Use it, and you'll agree. Well, I guess this is what I get for trying to impress you. I was too eager to prove myself. I should have taken a step back and tried to look at things more objectively. Having said that, a new idea has just occurred to me. I best get started. Thanks. I hope to see you again.
Order complete.
I'm so glad you could make it. Give me a moment to check the order information. Wouldn't surprise me if you use special secret techniques to deliver cargo in such fine condition. And what is this unexpected delivery I see? That's... I was thinking I ought to share this with you, but I'm not sure if it'll be to your liking. I've decided to further increase your materials allocation.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
I present the Bowler Stun Gun. Now this is a completely new and original invention, I'm sure of it. With your standard bowler gun, the effectiveness of the wires can vary widely depending on how they hit. Your target could break free practically immediately. But with my improved design, it doesn't matter where your shot connects. You'll get the maximum effect regardless. I just know you're gonna love it. Really? I've done it! I took the time to analyze your recent activities, you see. And through the chiral network, I was able to study the bowler gun in depth. Thus did I build upon the foundations laid by my predecessors and make a small but meaningful addition. Please, use it as you see fit. That in itself will be payment enough. Thanks for the help. I appreciate it.
Order completed.
Oh, I see you're back. I'll process you quick. Didn't expect you to waltz in with this. You are the real deal. And that's why I know you make good use of this. Bet you could use more materials, no?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
With your help, we've been able to improve the combat power gloves design. Battery efficiency is now a whole lot better, and they're much more durable to boot. This is some seriously impressive tech, and I believe you'll use it to its fullest potential. I look forward to hearing about how well it serves you in the future.
Sam, I don't recognize that device over there. Proceed with caution. Oh boy! How'd I do, Sam? I'm home! Ready.
This order is a hostage rescue operation. The target for extraction is this man. He was conducting a search in a mining region when communications abruptly ceased. He went there at the behest of the Dowser, who resides at the next facility you need to link up. Take heed that the mine in question is currently under the control of the armed survivalists, a faction whose members have no reservations about using lethal force and should be considered a serious threat. To make matters worse, some of them have been observed wearing armor as well as active skeletons. Such enemies will possess increased mobility and defensive capabilities. It would therefore be prudent to bring equipment to counter these advantages. There's no telling how much longer they'll keep the hostage alive. Moreover, saving him may help us to pursue future objectives in this region and beyond. Regardless, this is a matter of life and death for the Dowser's friend. Give your preparations all due consideration. He's counting on you, Sam.
The gathering of storytellers that spawned Mary Shelley's Frankenstein gave rise to yet another legendary creature of horror fiction. I speak, of course, of the vampire. A physician named Polidori was also in attendance that evening, and he later unveiled his creation in a new novel. As I may have mentioned before, the summer of that year was unusually cold. In Europe alone, 200,000 people are said to have perished as a result. Could it be that a widespread fear that the world might be coming to an end served as inspiration for two classic monsters? I find it a compelling theory. Apparently, Darwin always had a strong interest in geology. He was fascinated by the way continents and landforms change, leading to the creation of new habitats for organisms. This led him to surmise that organisms adapted to their new environments in order to thrive. And that logic eventually became the basis of his theory of evolution. The world around us continues to change, even now. The continents are in flux due to the shifting tar currents and the emergence of plate gates. Is it possible these changes might also spur life to develop and adapt in unforeseen ways? The man we came to rescue appears to be unconscious. Place him in a protective bag and get him to safety. All right, time to take our ailing friend to the Dowser shelter. We just need to figure out how to get over these mountains first.
Thank goodness. And you saved my friend, too. Give me a moment to take stock. Wow, he looks as healthy as ever, despite having been held captive in enemy territory. That's amazing. There's something special about you. I can tell. I think you might be just the person I've been looking for. This was meant to be. I can feel it. Bring me online with your Cupid.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So, I'm a part of the chiral network now, am I? You can't even begin to imagine how much this is going to benefit my work. As thanks, I've shared the schematic for a level 2 PCC. I sense you'll need to build all kinds of structures to deal with the obstacles you're going to encounter from here on out. For instance, this more advanced PCC will allow you to fabricate zip lines. And this zip line's design is even better than the one you used back in the UCA. I also have another gift to share. A schematic for a boost skeleton. Throw it on and it'll allow you to carry heavy cargo with relative ease. And prepare to be amazed when you give it a boost. You'll run faster than ever and jump even farther too. That's a signature feature. It also has shock absorbers that reduce the damage you take from a big drop. But don't forget that boosting consumes battery power, so make sure you've got enough for when you need to rely on these features. Oh, and in case you're wondering, that friend of mine you rescued is doing well. His condition is stable and he's just catching up on some sleep. I can't thank you enough for getting him out. I search for underground streams and mineral veins. My gift also allows me to perceive distant objects. So, people sometimes ask me to track down lost items for them as well. But I only identify the general location. I leave it to my friend to handle the actual retrieval. Like the old design, this zipline enables an individual to travel quickly between two anchors. However, you'll find it offers greater comfort and freedom of movement to the rider. Also, the lines themselves can now curve ever so slightly if necessary, which makes zipping around more viable in areas with plentiful obstacles. You see, even if I know where the thing I'm searching for is, it doesn't mean I can get there. That's why I've been looking into tools like this to facilitate travel. And with any luck, I'll have more solutions like this to share in the near future. He'd gone out to secure an item I'd located. The request came from a drawbridge member, actually, Hartman. He said it was essential for his research into using the beach for jumping. Anyway, I used my gift to ascertain the item's location. We knew that area wasn't safe, but my friend was willing to take the risk regardless. And despite what happened, he still managed to complete the job. I'll admit, he can be a bit reckless, but when he resolves to do something, he always sees it through. There's another request I'd like to send your way, but I'll need a little more time to get everything in order. I'm still in the middle of processing the item my friend recovered before he got captured. So, I hope you don't mind waiting. I hate to inconvenience you, especially since I wouldn't even be able to make this request if you hadn't saved him. Oh, by the way, do you like apples? My friend brought a few back with him. It's just a shame he grabbed them before they'd fully ripened. He's got a bit of an impulsive nature,
Just his way. But don't worry, they'll be ready to eat soon enough. I'll send them to you then. Thank you again, Sam.
I'm glad you were able to get them out safely. That group was more dangerous than your average band of hostiles. Those weapons they were carrying were state-of-the-art. You'll need to keep an eye out for them in the future. Groups like these make me nervous about letting Tomorrow spend time outside, even though she's doing better. When you return to the T3 Magellan, you should see for yourself how much progress she's made. And get some rest. You're long overdue. I'm sure Dahlman's tired too.
Orders completed. Well done.